$20 million below budget, which obviously means considerable savings for our taxpayers. I promise to be relentless when it comes to providing the very best service to our taxpayers for the very lowest price. They deserve it. Second, on issue or policy, our administration will always work to get the right answer, not just our own answer. So many people today are working hard, but they're worried about their future and our country's future. We owe it to them to get it right. Let's not waste this chance to get it right for Tennesseans, for today, for next year, and for many years to come. As I stand before you this evening, I challenge all of us to believe in better. As the elected leaders of this great state, it's what Tennesseans expect from us, and it's what we owe to them. Working together, we are going to achieve a better Tennessee. Thank you very, very much.
African Americans, including so many recent immigrants, have thrived in every sector of society. We've done so despite a difficult past, and we've drawn strength from our African heritage. With strong institutions and a strong will, I know that Africans can live their dreams in Nairobi and Lagos, Kigali, Harare, and right here in Accra. You know, 52 years ago, the eyes of the world were on Ghana. And a young preacher named Martin Luther King traveled here to Accra to watch the Union Jack come down and the Ghanaian flag go up. This was before the March on Washington or the success of the civil rights movement in my country. Dr. King was asked how he felt while watching the birth of a nation. And he said, "It renews my conviction in the ultimate triumph of justice."
Mr. Speaker, today I rise to applaud the efforts of Ghana in promoting good governance and civic participation. President Obama will wrap up the third leg of his international trip in Ghana. He'll be there today, and I'm reminded of the important role this democratic nation plays in the international world. Ghana is an active participant in the United Nations and the African Union. In its region has been extremely active in international peacekeeping. Ghana, the first state in sub-Saharan Africa to gain its independence, has shown that it's a stable nation whose government and people are accountable to one another. These acts are a good first step in developing future relationships between our nation and Ghana. One of my constituents, five-time karate and kickboxing champion Anthony Elmore, fulfilled his lifelong dream by visiting Ghana in 1998. The champ visited Accra, and it's changed life. After returning to Memphis, Amp developed his vision of educating and enlightening people about the cultural and economic importance of Africa as a continent, as well as Ghana. At his home and throughout the city, he showcased African artifacts, fabrics, and art. This weekend, on Friday and Saturday both, he'll be honoring Africa at his home and inviting the public and having a fashion show and an African dinner. I'll be there. Next year, I'll visit Ghana and hope to develop trade between our city, Ghana, and our nation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Darkness, fear nothing but one man. Stop! Blade.
We represent the ruling body of the... Let me get this right. You want me to hunt them. But you? Ooh, so exciting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer.
Wesley Snipes not know who you are messing with! Blade 2.
Oh, beautiful, for heroes proved in liberating strife.
Ghana's history is rich. The ties between our two countries are strong. I'm proud. This is my first visit to Sub-Saharan Africa as President of the United States of America. I'm speaking to you at the end of a long trip. I began in Russia for a summit between two great powers. I traveled to Italy for a meeting of the world's leading economies. And I've come here to Ghana for a simple reason. The 21st century will be shaped by what happens not just in Rome or Moscow or Washington, but by what happens in Accra as well. This is the simple truth of a time when the boundaries between people are overwhelmed by our connections.
When I was in school,
Your prosperity can expand America's prosperity. Your health and security can contribute to the world's health and security. And the strength of your democracy can help advance human rights for people everywhere. So I do not see the countries and peoples of Africa as a world apart. I see Africa as a fundamental part of our interconnected world, as partners with America on behalf of the future we want for all of our children. In mutual responsibility and mutual respect. And that is what I want to speak with you about today. We must start from the simple premise that Africa's future is up to Africans. I say this knowing full well the tragic past that has sometimes haunted this part of the world. After all, I have the blood of Africa within me, and my family's own story encompasses both the tragedies and triumphs of the larger African story. Some of you know my grandfather was a cook for the British in Kenya. And though he was a respected elder in his village, his employers called him boy through much of his life. He was on the periphery of Kenya's liberation struggles, but he was still imprisoned briefly during repressive times. In his life, colonialism wasn't simply the creation of unnatural borders or unfair terms of trade. It was something experienced personally, day after day, year after year. My father grew up herding goats in a tiny village. And possible distance away from the American universities where he would come to get an education. He came of age at a moment of extraordinary promise for Africa. The struggles of his own father's generation were giving birth to new nations, beginning right here in Ghana. Were educating and asserting themselves in new ways, and history was on the move. But despite the progress that has been made, and that there has been considerable progress in many parts of Africa, we also know that much of that promise has yet to be fulfilled.
Oh, no. I love the station. We'll be right back.